Hi folks, today we're going to cover a short but sweet topic. So to get started, let's take a look at this board. There's an obvious 7 on the rack and no chance for an obvious 8. Bingos with S's are generally easy to place as you can hook the S onto most words, mainly nouns and verbs. The 4 7s on this rack are artless, salters, slaters, and lasters. There are initially 3 prospective bingo lanes in column N, column O, and row 10. The problem is you don't know what takes an S and what doesn't. No's is legitimate as plural of no, and yeps is legitimate as plural of yep, but is nopes as plural of nope? Tyen is a monetary unit of Kazakhstan, but does that presume it takes an S? And other onomatopoeia don't take an S, so can he? Hooks are important, but S-suffix hooks are special because they're often assumed to be acceptable. 2/3 of 2s and 4s and about 80% of 3s take an S. You will probably find many more novice players who know that jug takes an A for juga and that this takes an L for jugal than you will find who know if gan takes an S or not. You should know these to avoid making false assumptions or to trick your opponents into making those same assumptions so that you can challenge and reap the rewards. In Facebook Scrabble or Words with Friends, it's not so important as this is called void Scrabble and it's better just to guess and check with your placement, but it can also help you in playing defensively. As it turns out, nopes is no good, tiens is no good, nor are other Eastern currencies, the liu, jiao, tu, and sao, although the yen and yuan are. But he is not an onomatopoeia as you may have thought, but a Hebrew letter, therefore taking the S suffix and making all 4 7s playable from 10C. The English language can seem really haphazard sometimes. Some words obviously don't take an S, such as ply as a noun or verb becomes plies and not plies, but similar words such as AB do take an S directly. The two seem just as unstructured without having an extremely good grasp of definitions. Pay special attention to these. Unfortunately, if you try and group words together or use common sense to remember them, you may reach a roadblock. Many of the words have double meanings that make it especially confusing. If we look at what we see as irregular past tense verbs, sat, ran, met, made, or knew obviously don't take an S. However, on the other hand, ate, lit, rode, tore, and chose, which you think would only be acceptable as past tense verbs, do take an S in alternate meanings. Onomatopoeic words such as duh, brr, and aha don't take an S, yet others such as ah, oo, and yek do take an S. Conjunctions and other common words seem just as random. An, the, yet, and than don't take an S, yet or, and, if, but, and then do take an S. To remember those ones, you can think, then no ifs, ands, or buts here.
A good comprehensive list with the obvious words taken out can be found in Mike Barron's word book, which I had mentioned in a previous video, but you can also use Ziziva to make your own lists. Here's a setup that you can use to identify some of the 3-letter words that don't take an S on the end and also aren't already plurals with a 3rd letter as an S.
You should pay special attention to these on a case-by-case basis. Here's a few examples to leave you with.
We have station in the mid-game. Station has no anagrams, so any bingo lane that we're going to find to play this is going to have the S at the beginning of the word. Now, by analyzing the board, we can see that there are 7 potential bingo lanes by hooking the S onto the end of 2, 3, 4, and 5-letter words. However, not all of these are going to be acceptable. Some of them might not be completely obvious, and some of them may even be counterintuitive, but you have to remember which of these words will take an S and which won't. 5 of these are acceptable and 2 are unacceptable. Give your best guess as to what those are. So we see that abed and bur do not take S's, yet the rest of the words do. On this board we have a triple alphagram. That means that your rack can make 3 7s, which are Randy's, Sardine, and Sandier. There are only 2 possible bingo lanes, both in column O. However, we need to know which of these 4-letter words, otik and flu, actually take an S onto the end. It's not going to be very intuitive, but after studying this, you should know that it will be flu that will take the S, and therefore Sandier or Sardine are playable, whereas Randy's is not.